Hello and welcome to Daily Reflection with Aneel Aranha. Today is the 22nd of February 2018 and we're going to reflect on Matthew chapter 16 verses 13 to 19. Now when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And they said, "Some say John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But you, who do you say that I am?" And Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then he sternly ordered the disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah, the gospel of the Lord. There are so many things that we can reflect upon in today's passage, but I'd like to pick on one thing that I believe is the most important. Jesus asked his apostles, "Who do people say I am?" And they replied, "Oh, some say you're Elijah, some say you're John the Baptist, some say you're one of the other prophets." "Very well," Jesus says, "but you, who do you say I am?" And one man, just one man answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Imagine that Jesus was here today and he asked you the same two questions. What would your answers be? I imagine the first one is answered easily enough. Oh, some say that you're a prophet. Some say you're one God among many gods. Some say that you're a fairy tale. And he'd say, "Very well, but you, what about you? Who do you say I am?" I believe this is the most important question Jesus has ever asked, because our response to this question will determine how we respond to Jesus and the things that he says and asks us to do. If we acknowledge, as Peter acknowledged, that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, then everything we do will reflect that. The question is, does it? If someone slaps you on one cheek, do you offer the other, or do you slap him back? If someone wants to sue you and take your coat, do you give your cloak as well? If someone forces you to go 1 mile, do you go a 2nd mile? These are all things that Jesus, who is the Son of God, asked us to do in his famous Sermon on the Mount. So if we don't do what he asks us, then what does that tell us? We have quite a few days left in this season of Lent, and it wouldn't hurt to reflect on this question right through the season, because when we are really able to answer it with our actions affirming our words, we will truly be on our way to becoming real disciples of Christ. And if Jesus were to ask us again, "Who do you say I am?" we'd reply without hesitation. And that might also be something to reflect upon. Why was Peter the only one to give the answer? Didn't the others know who he was? Something for you to think about. God bless you.